most of you, it's probably already 70 degrees where you're at. Some places, like where I'm at, it's still pretty cold. Had a good day today though, so I'm thinking it's nice and summery. Let's do this. Now, my biggest issue with this look is that it's going to be a more dewy, not as heavy makeup, but because of the drag makeup look and all the makeup looks I've been doing with this new foundation, my skin's wrecked. So I'm going to show you how to spot conceal instead of wear a whole cake face of foundation, because we don't need that. We'll just correct the spots that need it. And if you're fine with how this looks, and that's your natural skin, then don't even do it. I just, with how red they are right now, I don't want to, I would normally spot correct. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to prime first. I'm just shaking up this foundation real quick. I don't know which one I want. I have a primer right next to me that I used yesterday, but I don't really want that one. I want the professional one just to make my skin look smoother. Now, this look isn't just put on some dewy highlighter or whatever. A lot of it's skin prepping. So when you cleanse your face, especially if you have sensitive skin, use like a gentle soap and then really moisturize your face before you do primer. And I'm taking a lip balm and I'm putting that on my lips so it's hydrating my lips too. Because we are doing a dewy look, you want it to be nice and dewy. So my skin's already pretty shiny, but because I'm going to spot correct all these spots where I'm breaking out, because I'm also soon on my period, so that's cute. And it's getting warmer, and this foundation I'm still getting used to, but I just kind of caked it on because I got it, so that's my fault. But I'm just gonna, I usually get bigger pores right here in these areas, and then I will get that right here in my like acne scarring. And you can take this all over your face. I just don't, because it kind of makes like a oily feel, not oily, like a clayish, but it is very good for concealing your bigger pores. This is the only thing that actually like fills in pores. I've gotten a lot of pore filling primers, and there are others out there, but this is my favorite because it's like, instead of it being clear, it's like you can get it in your skin tone. So it really fills it in. It's just like, oh no, I don't have big pores there. It's just, that's just how my skin is. So I have bigger pores right there, up a little higher right there, and then I will do it one right there and one right there. So you just gotta look around and see like, oh, okay, where is the biggest spots on my face for that. And this kind of, I feel like it calms down acne a lot. Like it gives it a less red look and a more even skin tone. I find that it does. Oh, and my eyes are pink. They're so pink because I did a hot pink makeup look today, so they're a little stained, which it doesn't matter for what we're doing. So now that we are all primed, I'm going in with foundation. Right, this is a tanner foundation just because this is what I got for my summer foundation. But we haven't had much sun lately. So I put it on the spots that I want to conceal, but they're not right in the middle because I'm going to take a lighter color for my concealer, and I just want this to blend out into my skin more so. So let's take, I'm taking a brush first and then sponge, because the brush kind of puts it where you want it, and then the sponge will obviously buff it and press into the skin more. So I just take like a little packer brush and kind of take it where I want. And this is a very oily foundation, so it's very, very spreadable. So I have that little spot. Now I bounce, barely tapping. Or pushing in, I should say. You are tapping a lot, it's just you're barely pushing in. I want to do a tutorial, not really a tutorial, but a makeup look of I'm doing one half of my face and then I don't do the other half. Maybe I'll do that next. It's just I've been slacking with the makeup looks lately. Okay, so I buff that out a little bit. Let me just put that right there. There we go. I feel like when you do makeup, obviously it's nice to have like an even skin, but nobody's skin is even, so I feel like a lot of times when you make your skin like all one color across the board that makes it look like you're wearing foundation. Like obviously if you can see my redness peeking through in my freckles, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, she's not really wearing foundation. She's just looks dewy or whatever. And that's where you get them. There isn't ever going to be like a look where you can not wear makeup or wear a bunch of makeup and it look like you don't. Like it just hasn't been perfected yet to where somebody's gonna look at you with a full face and go, oh, she has no makeup on. That just doesn't happen. So as you can see, oh, right in the middle of my forehead, right under here, so you can still see my hollow points. And then I'm gonna take what extra I have on my sponge and just kind of buff it around. I'll go over lightly with the acne just to kind of calm it down. I will go in and do more with those. Just for right now, I don't like wasting product, so if I have product on my sponge, I like to buff it in kind of. Now I'm going to go in more with the foundation. Do a dot right there. Do a dot right there. I need to go a little bigger with that. Let me see where. I'm going to spot correct after because I want to show you guys how to do that. As somebody who has a lot of acne now, I feel like this is the perfect opportunity to do that. So make sure it spreads around. And because this one is a warmer tone, it kind of helps cancel out all that, like that blue you get here and right here in the hollow points of your eyes before I go in with my almost white concealer. I go in with a very light concealer that is the Instant Age Rewind by Maybelline, so you guys know it's very lightweight because you're never going to get rid of bags. Like, you can't get rid of texture with concealer or foundation. Like, I have huge pores and I have acne scarring. My cat's crying. And you're never going to get rid of that because it can't fill in pores and just make it completely flat. Like, it won't do that for you. So I don't try to get it to do that or cake it on because it won't do what I need anyway. So now I'm going to take this white. As you can see, it's really thin. It's not near as thick as the other one. I use it just to brighten it more so. And then I'll take it as close to my eye as possible, and then I'll just bring it out a little bit because I really want my facial features to be the star, I should say. Oh, and then I'll put a little bit right there, and that helps brighten up that area too. And then because I have my brows shaved and I want a higher arch, I'll put them there. Right here's my focus in my face, but I do take the white down here and up here so it's not like just a haze of white and then nothing there. You want it to be pretty even. I will go in with this brush. I don't know if I really need to, but I will, just for the sake of being extra. But this helps because I still have some of that yellowish foundation residue. And a brush spreads it out evenly. And then the sponge applies it evenly so it's not all streaky. But because I have some yellow on here, it won't be so crazy white. And you can, of course, powder. I will powder just because if I was doing this for a summery look, and I'm going to be out in the sun and out all day with my friends having fun, I would powder. You guys know I normally don't powder. If I do, it's very slightly if I'm going to be out a while. But if I'm going to be hanging out with my friends and coming back to my house, I won't because realistically I'd just take my makeup off. I don't like the look that powder gives, and for my skin being sensitive, it really makes it harder for it to get out of my pores, and it gives me a very dry look instead of a dewy finish, so I just let it go the way it is. And I've never had it to where it, like, goes away. This foundation's very oily, though, so that will give me a very shiny texture, so I'll touch it up with a little powder. Oh, my cat just opened the door. Hi, bud. You're so pretty. Okay, let's see what I want to do now. Bud. Alright, I'm not going to go crazy with contour. I'm going to go in with contour, but I'm not going to go crazy. Let me just do, what's the brush I want? What brush did I use last time? I usually just use my finger, and I go in with my other big brush. I did a drag makeup look, though, with this brush, so let me make sure I don't have a bunch of pink and brown on it. Okay, I don't. So you just do dots. Don't ever do the line, because you will get it to where it's very hard to blend out, especially if you're not used to blending. So because I had that primer down before, this buffs really easy because it almost has like an oily texture behind it. So just go in here. Cool contour, warm bronzer. You never see like a warm shadow, if that makes sense. And that's what you're doing when you contour. You're making shadows on your face to mimic where your bone is. So don't ever have like a warm, don't contour with your bronzer. I used to do that. It makes you look crazy. And I'll just do that. And of course, I go in with the brush first, and then I go in with the sponge. You don't want a crazy contour because for this look, you want to go very light. Less is more, and if you go crazy with it, you're going to be able to tell, especially when you're in natural lighting and the sun's really beating on you. You're going to see, especially if you powder or something, it's going to be very dry looking and textured. So we're doing this as dewy as we can. But you also don't want to look like a grease trap because you didn't powder. You know what I mean? You just got to go in between. We want a look that's going to be long wear, and it's going to really look good. Okay. So as you can see, you don't see a harsh line. It's just, though, when I turn here, you can see that shadow, how it's formed. And same here. This right here, let me turn. That's actually bone. I mean, like, my cheekbone line, I should say. So that's not like an unblended line. That's just actually the way my face goes. So if you're wondering why that's there, that's actually my face. All right. Now I will do a little trick right here. See this jaw, or like this like double chin area, like when you look around, so you're having fun. And you're looking every which way. You just take that there and see how that kind of like pinches that in, shortens your face up. I do that a lot. And you'll still have the double chin, obviously. But instead of you having just like that line right here that makes your face look a little longer, it kind of just pinches all that in. Cute. And then I'll take a little bit and I will go back in with bronzer over this to set it. So I don't need to powder everything and then powder more with my other stuff. I don't believe in all that. Let me make sure you don't have a bunch of blush on you. I'm dumb and I use this brush and I shouldn't have. Aw, my bronzer broke. My dog was on my bed. He must have knocked it over. It was old anyway, but let me do that. I'm just gonna eyeball. I just want to go little by little. You can always add more makeup, but you can't take makeup away. Once you do too much and you go, oh shit, you can't fix it. Once it's done, it's done. So I still want to make this to where it really warms up my face, but you don't want to get it to where there's just like a line of warmth for no reason. I used to contour with my bronzer, and when I was even paler, when I was younger, I used to just go in here with like a really dense brush, and no, you don't want to do that. That'll look a little crazy. So let me go in with my forehead. Make sure you pull your hair back, because you don't know what you're doing if you're going to pull your hair up, and you don't want like a line of white from where you missed it. I'll go into here, and I'll just go in here. Again, little circles, barely touching. You're not going to really push it and do all this. You're just going to flick it around. Look at how that warmed up my face, and then we have that really bright middle, and we're going to blend it. This looks a little like too much, like this is too much white, and then this is too much dark, but we're going to fix that in a second, because I'm going to add blush that'll add to that, and blend that all together. And I like creams for like everything, guys. I go over with a powder bronzer just because I feel like I have more control that way. And I don't want everything to be too creamy because that'll look fake too. Now, cream blush, cream highlight. I have my cream highlight right here. I need to see if I have it in this bag. I have like 3 different bags. Well, I have my brush kits where I put anything random. And then I have my actual bag, and then I have an extra bag. Okay, here's this Milk Makeup Bronzer. I really like it, and it's really buildable. Let me see which shade this is for you guys. Work with an E. Now let me go. You start in the apples of your cheeks, because you always need to have the apples of your cheeks peachy, especially if you're a little freckle face like me with your mask. And then I just go up. Now this one's very buildable, and it's very light, so you do have to go back over. That's why I'm going so heavy-handed. Now, I will go in a little bit with this, just to add what little pigment of like foundation or whatever I got, just to spread it around a bit, but I don't want to go too crazy. Now I will go in here, and remember, this all still has that residue on it from before, so that helps. And then I take the flatter spot, and I feel like that kind of takes everything and just like blends it all together. And I go really high with my bronzer because it lifts everything up. And just little circles, tapping back and forth. Then you go in with your big one to kind of mesh it all together. Look at how cute that is. That just adds such a fun warmth to your face, especially if you're like a paler person like me who hasn't had sun yet. It's like, no, look, I'm getting there. Let me take, where's the bronzer? I mean the blush. Now this is pretty good. I'm gonna take my blush right there. See, that kind of gives it like a warmth, like I got sun. I'm not taking on the tip of my nose because one, that's never where sun really goes when you get tan. Like, look, that looks natural. If I do it on the tip of my nose, that doesn't make sense. And I contour my nose to where I add shimmer above the tip of my nose, so it creates a different shape for my face and shortens it up. So when you take a color of pink and smash it on, it takes the actual shape because you don't have those lights and darks. So if you're contouring your nose and like completely changing the shape of it, don't do that. 4 viewers at once. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. You guys are all excited for spring. Me too. I mean summer. Me too. I'm ready for yard sales and garage sales. That's like what I'm most excited for. So I'm going to take a little bit of whatever's on my sponge. I'm going to put it right there because you get a lot of sun on your forehead, your nose, and your cheeks. Right around here is usually where you go. I will take a little bit right here just so it's not so white. But look at how that all blended in. Like you're just a dewy, pinky mess. Now, I'm going to take a cream highlighter. The Benefit Watts Up is my favorite. Look at how pretty that is. I just go right in my finger, you guys. Like, that's what works the best, I think, for creams like this in small areas. If you have a big area like a blush or something, you'll want to change it, but... And I just really go in. Like, I've been out in the sun all day, and I'm just getting that glow, all that vitamins I need. Look at all that. Look at how pretty that is. Like, could you get any more natural than that besides, like, just sweat? That's amazing. And this doesn't add texture to your face. If you're somebody who you haven't had good luck with dry highlighters, like actual pan highlighters, or let's say you just have a shimmery eyeshadow you use, but it adds texture to your face, use these. These don't add like a lot of texture and dryness. I had the same thing because I have very sensitive skin. So as you can see, I'm taking that shimmer, and here's the tip of my nose, but I'm taking it up here because that shortens it. And then I will show you another trick. Let me make sure it's not too dark. Alright, I'm going to go in with... Ooh, I dumped my bronzer. Going in with my bronzer, and I'm just flicking up. I'm starting down here, flicking up. And I'll flick out that way a little bit, flick up a little, and then kind of blend that right around there. And then I'll go boop, right on the sides, and then right up here. And I don't touch the bridge, because when you, one, we already did all that pink, and two, when you touch the bridge, if you have a longer nose, it actually makes it look longer because your eyes are focusing right on that contour. So I pinch here and I pinch here with the bronzer, and then I focus on these two sections and ignore the bridge, making my nose look smaller. Sounds like a lot, but it makes sense. Okay, now I guess I'll go with brows. Brows are going to be hard because I have very shaved brows. I challenge you to wear someone's reading glasses for a donation. It's a challenge. I don't have donations set up, so I'm sorry. And I don't have anybody with me to do that. But I don't have donations set up because that's not really what this is for. I will be doing it soon. It's a lot. Because you have to set up like a whole business thing, and I can't figure it out yet. And I don't want to do it until I can figure it out. Because it says something about like a customer service number you have to make. And I don't know how to do that. And I don't want to use my number because I don't want people calling me or have access to that. So, I'm trying to figure that out. So, bear with me, guys. But I should be getting a light soon for my video game streams. It shipped. I don't know when it's going to get here. So, I promised you guys I'd get stuff. I'm trying to go in lightly with this, just so it's somewhat natural. I mean, it's red brows, so it's not going to be that natural. I'm just trying to get them so they're not so shaped if that makes sense. I always do it to where I like a very structured end, but not everybody's into that, so I gotta try to make it different. That's a little better. Okay, that's pretty good. Just make that a little straighter. Ooh, that's better. And then same thing here. You just do like little brush strokes at a time because you want to draw the hairs more so. If you guys have full brows and you have nice brows, you don't have to worry about this. But my brows go down in real life when they're not shaved, so I have to shave the ends just because I want a more snatched appearance and I want more room to play with my makeup, so. And create whatever shape you want. It don't matter because we're going to conceal anyway, so it doesn't matter if they don't match at all because we're going to go in and conceal that whole thing. Hello, how's it going? Good, how are you? And I'm going to take a spoolie because it is like eyeshadow, so it blends pretty easy. Just to kind of give it that like smudged hair-like appearance. Thank you for the view, I appreciate it. Now, I gotta conceal. Take that white. Where's that other brush I was using? Right here. Perfect. Going to go in right along the edge. Don't have to be a huge straight line because these are natural brows. So we're just kind of trying to highlight the brow bone with the white concealer. And then there, as you can see, my tail goes down way too far compared to the other one. But it don't matter. We're just going to conceal it and shorten that up a bit. And then you just take your finger, because it's a small cream. It's a small area that you're putting cream on, so you just want to be careful. And look at that. Look at how cute that is. Now, because you could end here if you have normal brows. Me, because I have hair here and I don't have hair here, you can see my brows are way lighter on the ends. So, I have to go in and brush darker hairs in so it distracts the eyes from that spot. It's like when you're at like a, I don't know. It's like when you're watching like an optical illusion and you're looking at 50 different things so you can't focus on what you need to focus on. That's kind of how this is. And that's the best way I can describe it. Okay. That brown needs to be a little darker. Cute. And then because you have powder on your eyebrow hairs, you just brush it with the spoolie a little bit. You do this no matter what you use, whether it's a pomade or a clay, anything like this. I do it all the time, no matter what, because you still have all that makeup on. Let me take that right there. Then I use a spoolie to just kind of blend all those edges out. Cute. And when you go down further here, it gives you more of an arch. So if you want a higher arch that looks more natural, you just go down right there. And it makes the eye focus there. Cute, cute, cute. Now, what can I do? This is very pretty. Let's powder right here. There's my powder. And I don't powder that much, and I have sensitive skin, and I need it like clear, so I use baby powder. You don't have to. I do because it's cheap too, and I like that it doesn't really clump. It's not very thick like a lot of powders are. It's very light because it can't be. I will do the spots that get the most oily, Because, like, over here, it's not going to get... It's already set with bronzer 1, and 2, I don't really get oily there. So, I'm mostly doing just, like, my forehead and different areas. And I'm just tapping it lightly in. Let me just see here. Chin. Right here along the nose. And that's going to be set with eyeshadow, so we're not going to hit that. But I want to just go around my brows to make sure they're not touched, because if they get touched, hi Bear, my dog's in here. If they get wet or whatever, that can be really messy. That's the good thing about wearing eyeshadow for your brows, is that you don't really run into that issue. He's crying. He wants in my room. No, bud. Now I'm going to brush that away, just so it doesn't cake and give you that dry look. It still looks drier, obviously, than like the dewy parts of our face, but those areas don't really get really dewy unless they get really sweaty, so you don't have to worry about that. It's fine where the powder is, and the powder just helps so it absorbs throughout the day, all that oil, so you don't get a real oily look. I powder more with this foundation. I'd like go over it a little more at different spots, but I only put it here at my concealer spots. That's why I'm not going too crazy. But if you're somebody who puts foundation on real cakey and it's like really oily ones like this one, the Rare Beauty one, powder everywhere. Not heavy, but powder so you're covered. Now, on to eyes. Let's do... I don't know. I want to keep it peachy, orangey. We'll do that. We'll keep it peachy and orangey. I feel like that's trendy right now, peachy looks. Do that. I need this palette. I don't really need that palette. I'll keep it there though. Alright. So I'm going in with like a nudish color. It's a little darker than my skin. I'm just kind of patting it, and then I will brush it around. And I'm using a fluff brush for pretty much everything. I will tell you guys when I'm not using a fluff brush, because if you're doing a natural look ever, I've found that it's always easier when you use like a blending brush, because it gives you that flawless, like, oh, it's just melting into my skin look, instead of like when you use a packer brush and then have to buff it out. So, nothing big, just using a neutral shade. Now I'm going to go in with a coral. It's a very bright coral, so I'm going to mix it with a white. And I'm just going to go right around. And I don't want this to be a very pigmented look. Usually you would if you're doing bigger looks, especially me. I don't really do these looks too much. I would still do like browns and whatnot. I'm not one to do this type of stuff. But, it does give you a very, like, oh, natural, is she wearing makeup? But barely kind of look. And then you just blend it out a bit with whatever you have on your brush still. I'd still kick on makeup. If I'm at the beach, I wouldn't, but, like, I'd still like to wear a lot of makeup. Hi, how are you? Like, a lot of people want to look natural and dewy to go to the beach because they're trying to pick up people, but I got a boyfriend for a while. That ship has sailed. Doing good. What about you? Pretty good, pretty good. The sun is out. It's nice weather. I am happy. I am in a good mood. Thank you for asking. I need to do some more coral down here. Thank you for the view. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Taking your time to see a little streamer like me makes me happy. Taking the same color, coral, mixing with the white, going down here. And then I connect right to the end. So that gives you that pinkish look all over. If you go too crazy, it's going to look like little streamers are better, right? They can focus on their audience more. When you're a big streamer, you can't focus on your audience. Exactly. That's what I said. I said if I ever got bigger, I'd get upset because I couldn't talk to my regulars, and I'd be really sad about that. I'd have to make like a separate chat for them or something. I'm going to go in with a red mixed with a brown. It's a red that doesn't show up a lot. It's not like a bright red. But you can go in with like a burgundy and mix it with a brown or something just so it's neutral. And look at how subtle that is. right there I'm going in with liner right at the edge, but just so it's barely noticeable, just so it's a little darker. Then I'm going with the brown right against the lash line, smudge that around, and then I blend it with a denser blending brush. But I take like a little, it's like an angled brush kind of. Yeah, once you get pretty popular, you can't talk with the little like originals anymore, you know? From being a little streamer to talking to other people, it just makes it hard. I don't really want to do that. But obviously if things took off, I wouldn't be against it. I just have to make like a separate chat, like a group chat for my originals or something, because you always remember them. It just whatever. Once I get that business account set up, it'll be nice, because then I can actually receive donations and see how I can feel a little more validated when I get a donation. Obviously I love you guys and I feel validated now doing what I'm doing, but like actually getting money for all the money I put into this and my gaming stream, oh my god, I probably put over $2,000 into my gaming stream, and I'm still ordering stuff for it to perfect it. And then makeup, I'm always buying makeup. Like this was like $40, and that's just a thing of foundation that I go through like really fast. Like I don't make money off of this because I can't. I don't have a business account yet, which is fine. But now that I'm getting more views, I need something now, because I'm paying. I can't keep putting in thousands of dollars when I don't make anything. You know what I mean? It's just not possible because of how young I am. And I just spent $800 on a PC for you guys, and I did a 10-hour stream and I got like 50 views, which is good for that because I just started doing gaming, so I'm not complaining. You guys are amazing. Thank you. It's just I need to at least have an outlet to make money on, you know what I mean? But I don't know. Certain things I'd buy for myself anyway, but like a green screen I wouldn't, an Elgato I wouldn't, a face cam I wouldn't, a brand new gaming chair I wouldn't have ever got. A ring light I wouldn't have got. A lot of things. And a PC I definitely wouldn't have got. I had a PlayStation. Eventually I might have, but not for a while. Let me see here. I have a good mascara that I want to use, but I don't know where it's at. I don't know if I want to do a little more liner. I'm going to do a little more liner. Let me take an angle brush that's a little more precise, just like we did with our eyebrows. I'm taking like a chocolatey brown, and I'm going right against that lash line, and then I flick a little bit. See how you can barely see it, but then here, look at this side compared to this side. It adds a little more focus out here. But then when we do mascara, what it'll do is it will cover our lashes, or our lashes will cover what we did. So you won't see this liner, but you'll still get the trick, like the effect, if that makes sense. Wing liner, when it's solid black and it's all winged out, I don't like, because I think the whole point of wing liner is to be like a trick to make your eyes look more like snatched. So when you can see the trick, I feel like that makes it not worth it at all. But that's just my opinion. Some people look really good in liner. I just don't look good in it. A big winged out one. Oh, there it is. I was wondering where that mascara was. I take a... for this look, I highly recommend multiple mascaras. I'm taking like a clumpier one that has like a more liquidy, like a little hair fiber brush on it. And I'm just kind of caking my lashes with it. But you don't want to just go in with this because it will make it very cakey looking and not natural. So do that. Now before that dries, you take another one that's firmer. I like taking the Benefit Roller Lash because it's stiff plastic one, but it really comes through your hairs, and this applicator really curls your lashes. I don't care for the formula in the Benefit Roller Lash because it's not a liquidy enough formula to where it really optimizes the curls you can get. But with a really clumpy, like the Monsieur Big mascara, that's really good. But if you want just a liquid clumpy mascara, you can get them at the dollar store. I just got that one in like a Sephora monthly kit or something. Monthly box I used to pay for. So look at that. Look at there and look at that. Look at how much that picks up your lashes, because you take a liquidy, clumpy formula, but then you take a nice curling applicator with that. If you want curled lashes, like you're somebody without curled lashes, this is the only option. For me, this is the only option. Benefit Roller Lash is the way to go. Any other one, I've tried it, didn't work. I didn't care for it that much. That doesn't mean there aren't other ones, it's just this one's like sworn by everybody, so. Now, as this dries, you're getting like air. It's like when you comb through your hair and it gets like frizzy. You're pulling and putting air through the hairs that you're combing through. So you just keep doing that because one, it takes out those like the clumps and it separates your lashes more to give it a natural, non-clumpy look. And you're making it dry, so it's drying higher. So I'll do this, and then right at the root, right where it meets the eye, I push up. So it starts drying like that. Then I dry it a little bit, and then I push again. And that really just sets it so it goes up and gives you that like bright-eyed look. Because look at how tired and like nothing that is, and look at how perky that side looks. It's beautiful. This Monsieur Biggs by Lancome. I like Lancome's mascaras a lot. Obviously, when you do a fancy brand, I had a hair in my mouth. Obviously, when you do a fancy brand, it can be very hit or miss. Like I know Gucci and Dior can be very, very hit or miss. So you just gotta be careful with that. These lashes are very clumpy today compared to the other side. So let's hope I can get this one more separated. Because I washed my face earlier, and sometimes when you push it with the towel, the one side doesn't want to work as much, I should say. So now that that's clumpy, now I'll go in. Ooh, they're stiff. I mean, she's working, but man, they don't want to work. Oh, it's getting there, okay. Man, really had to comb through those. They didn't want to work. They were all stuck together because I washed them off with a goat milk soap, and I put that on my lid, but then it like gets into my lashes and makes them all clump together. Show you guys a trick in a second here once these are done. Dang. It's like trying to pick through like a knot in your hair. Woo-hoo-hoo. Now, if you want to keep a snatched look, don't do bottom lashes or do very minimum bottom lashes, because what that does is it's like when you have a huge smoky eye going up and then you really smoke out the bottom. Like it defeats the whole purpose when you go up here and have your focus up here and you look like this and then you add all that. It just takes it down and your look looks a lot saggier. So look at how more awake and open my eyes are now. Just because you used two different mascaras and pulled those up to the sky. Yes, you could use a lash curler. I don't, because I don't want to cut off my lashes with a lash curler. It happens often, and I don't want to be one of those people, because I would be one of those people. Now, I will show you a trick. Do I have the brown there? As you can see, let me get closer, because that's not working. There's a lot of, like, the black right there, right along my lash line. So what I do is I just take it with a brush with like a neutral shade. You could take it with the same shade of orange or whatever just to kind of cover it. But it picks it up and blends it. So it kind of gives you the effect that you have liner behind there. But it just fades it out really effortless, I should say. And covers it. So see? Now you don't have to worry about it. But you still have like a liner backing. And it makes your lashes look a little thicker. So I'm going to pick these up again because they take a while to dry, especially when you have a really liquidy, clumpy mascara. You just pick them up, make sure they're not all clumped together like crazy, and you're pretty good to go. I'm going to do a little bottom mascara just because I like the look of having mascara on the bottom, but you don't have to. I have black mascara in the middle of my eye, on my inner corner, because I wash my face. Okay. So I use this one, Benefit Roller Lash, because as you can see, how can I get this to where you can understand? Let me see. So this part right here is for your top lashes. And then when it kind of curls right here, that's for your bottom because they go right here and right with the curve of your eyes. And this one is drier It's not a fresh one, but it's not to where it's like dead and has nothing. But this, I just used a little bit of black. You could go in with another mascara. Don't go in with a liquidy clumping one that we use for the top. If you have another one, use that, or be very careful. Because if you use a liquidy clumping one down here, it'll create a lot of those like little blackness and smudginess down there, and it'll take away from a lot. So, see how this eye is a little more snatched looking than this one now? It's a little more perky and focused. It's because we added lashes down here. It gives you that effect. Where it's like, oh, instead your eyes are a little more full, your lashes, but they aren't as snatched and perky as you would want. But I just like, I feel weird if I don't have bottom lashes. Or if I don't put mascara on them. There we go. Now, let me take this again. I'm going to pick that up and just comb right through, because when we push with our fingers, what that does is it kind of clumps all the hairs together. So I go back in with the brush with a little product on it, just so it combs through those hairs a little extra and make sure they're picked up and separated and they all have their own little thing. See how that really opens our eyes? Now, I will do a nude, let me see here a second. I will do a nude liner, like a concealer liner. I use just like concealer. Be careful what concealers and foundations you use, because some aren't safe for your eyes. I don't look personally. If it can go on my skin, it can go in my eye. Which isn't the case, I know, but I just do it that way. Because I have very sensitive skin. So if anything's going to affect my eyes, chances are it'll affect my skin. That's just the way I look at it, but please just look. Woo-hoo-hoo, look at that. Then I take a little bit right in this inner corner here, like right before the inner corner, and I drag it out actually a little bit, and then I smudge it. Just because it helps blur, I think, and open up your eyes more. That's the whole point of this liner. Let me see, make sure it's just blended quick. Yep. Okay, so look at that, how that kind of just like fades and you can almost like not see this inner part, like any texture or anything. Let me just make sure it's even. Make sure you don't go too thick, especially if you're using like a concealer or something for your liner. Because if it's thick, you can tell in real life, and then there goes your whole look. You know what I mean? Your whole trick. So, as you can see, this opened your eyes up a lot more. Made it very dewy and just like you're ready for the day. Let me do my cream highlighter. If it's not bright enough, I will go in with more of a different one. Because if it's little spots that need highlight and not like a whole cheek right here, that won't add texture, I will go in with a metallic. And I need to. This one I want my eyes to be a little more open. Don't go crazy, because if you have a huge like inner corner shimmer, it's going to be very noticeable, especially if you have like a huge dot right there. Like see how this like fades nice into like where like the sweat or something would be? Look at that. That is so pretty. And now, look at that. That's nothing where it's like a huge dot that goes out. This one's not a huge... Let me blend this, actually. It is kind of big. There we go. Just, you want to look at the spots where you have sweat, almost. Like where sweat would go. Minus here. Like, sweat, I don't really think goes here or here for me. I just put it there because that's where you're supposed to. It's your highlight point. But, like, there's where sweat would go for me. Around here is where I powder, but that's because that's where sweat's gonna go anyway. But around my nose, it's where it gets sweaty. Lips, it'll get sweaty. So you just put it in those kind of areas. Let me see here now what I want to do. I really like this look so far. What do I want to do? I had an idea and now I forgot. Oh, okay. I'm gonna take that highlight, this cream highlight, on my finger, And now I'm going to take it right here, almost like the high point of your eye. See, like when you open up, like how the eye's the highest here and then it kind of goes down. Obviously, all eye shapes are different. We just kind of put it there, and then you take a drier finger without the product on it and blend it out. And what that will do is it adds a natural dew to your lids, because if you're out in the sun all day, your lids are going to get sweaty like they would any other day that's hot out. They will get sweaty and dewy and glossy, and you don't want like dry, peachy lids that are just like really dry and like they're powdered. I mean, you have powder on them, so you need to add a shimmer to kind of be like, no, my eyelids are just peachy. Like that's just the color my eyelids are, and like look at that. It just gives you like a dew, but it's not too shimmery to where it's like, oh, you put like a big shimmery metallic on. You still have that natural look. If I have any extra, I'll just put it right here, along here. Not enough to where it really adds, but look at, see how it like has that little bit to where it's not powdered. That's what you want. You don't want your skin to look powdery and real dry and matte. You just want it to be dewy and glossy and whatnot. So now let me take a light peach. Not what I want. I'm going to try to do this the best way possible. I'm going to take a concealer or foundation. I don't want to take foundation. I'm going to take concealer on my acne because that foundation messes up my skin. Let me take my palette here. What color do I want to go with? There's like a teal here. Do I have a blue? I have a blue somewhere. Okay, I'm going to take this actually. Take a blue, mix it with a little green. I have this light teal, aqua like teal, and I have like a baby blue. This looks like a lot, but it's not. Now, here I have a lot of acne, obviously because we put on that primer, it's not too crazy. I'm just going to go over it slightly in that area. See? And then, let me take that again. In those spots. And then you just blend it so it just has like that grayish haze, not really a real like you just put on that pigment. Where's that brush? Here's the brush. I'm gonna try white. If it doesn't work, then I'll go in with the foundation that has a little more coverage and it's a little more orange. And then I just go right there. Take off all that like blue. But because this one's whiter, I have a thicker concealer. I could use that one too. I'll use a thicker concealer if this don't work. Because if you use a thin and a white concealer, what it's going to do is it's just going to make it a little more like blue of a cream. But if it does, it's still covering a lot of that blue dryness. So we'll just go back over it. Yeah, it's still giving it a blue haze. So I'll go in with like a thicker, yellower concealer to combat that. Let me take this one. It's nice to have a thin or a thick concealer around. I have the Anastasia contour kit, and these are thicker, so it really helps to cover a lot of that color correcting spots. Let me try that now. Okay, that is definitely better. And then we're going in with the colors that we use, because we can't, like, right here where I had blush, it's just whiter right there. So you have to go back in and do the different spots. But I don't have that oily foundation directly on my skin, so it's a little better. Let me powder real quick. Let me just do a little powder. Worst case scenario, if you have to, like, warm up a spot, you will go in with bronzer or whatever. Ooh, that's cool. I'm going in with... Let me get this off. There's a little bit of blue pigment on that one. Let me just take that lightly. I have a shade it's a shade darker than my skin, or a couple shades darker. It's just warmer, and just lightly taking that over those spots, just so it doesn't look so white. Where's my big brush? There it is. And I'm just blending those all together. All those colors and the setting powder and whatnot. So look, now you have a way more muted look. we're not covering the pimples to where we're caking them on and you don't see them, because you will never get rid of the texture of a pimple with foundation. I mean, look at these huge pimples. You're never going to cover them with a huge full coverage foundation and powder, no matter what Instagram says and Photoshop tells you with these makeup gurus. You're never going to get rid of it. So, best thing you can do is just stop the redness. Like mine were very red, so this makes it so they're not as red. Obviously, they're going to be still pink because they're acne. You don't want these big blobs and texture on your face that are the same color as your face. Everybody knows it's acne. They just, all you can do is make it look not as bad as it was. But you just gotta live with it. So, that's what I'm doing. I'm just covering it to where it's not as red, and I'm fine with it, and then that's it. So, it's like, yeah, I still have acne, but it's not that bad. It's healing up. That's all you can do. Let's see, what can I do now? Ooh, I have an idea. I have this glittery highlighter, and it's not glittery as in, it's very my skin tone underneath. See, it just kind of looks like a powder foundation, honestly, but it has like a little bit of see the glow behind it? So I just take that right here, and what it is it has more of a, see the little glitter now? There's a little bit of glitter in it. So if you want to up your glow a bit, and make it more like for a festival or something, you want to go a little crazier, you just add that highlight to those spots. And you can add it right here, just for a little more of a glow, and right there. But that just kind of adds more of like a, yeah, I put highlighter and like a glow oil on or something today, if you want that look. Let me see what I want to do. Oh, lips. We can do lips. Now, this is for you're going out all day and you want to have fun. I'm showing you how to do these. I'm going to line my lips with eyeshadow, and we are doing our lips with eyeshadow because that's what you do. You can go in with this cream blush. Like, I'd go in with this cream blush usually. Let's do that. I'm going to line my lips first, then I'll go in with this cream blush, and then I will set that with powder. So if you're going to be eating beachy food and you're out all day in the sun and you don't want to have to touch up your lips, when this fades, when these lips fade, they just go away. Like, that's it. They don't fade and smudge everywhere. But if you're using the blush and then setting it, there's a chance that it will still smudge and go over your face, but it shouldn't if you set it for one, and if it just fades. It should just fade naturally and become more muted pink. The eyeshadow is not going to move really at all. That's your best bet. If you have liquid lipsticks that work for you, then this isn't going to move. Because I've yet to find a liquid lipstick that I can eat like deep fried Oreos in and not have to touch my lip. And people will say like, oh, why don't you just not eat certain foods? Well, I want to have fun. I just want more lip then. Like, I'm somebody who, I will do a full eye, because I just want people to know I'm good at makeup. Like, I don't need to look and change my whole face, really. I just want to do a little bit. So, this looks very dark, I know. But we're going to change that, because I have that lip balm underneath. That's why I do that. Because you have lip balm underneath, and it's like greasy, I want to say. Oily. You just take your finger and rub it around. Gentle, because it can, like, go down, obviously. Right against that line, more into the inner part of your lip, and then you do just like that. So now you have the shape that you want with the brown, and it just blends into the pink. Now, because this is looking a little too brown to be natural, I'll go in with blush. This blush smells so good. And just go around my lips with this. Look at that. Look at how cute that is already. Sorry, I got a Facebook notification. I should get rid of those. I don't know how to, though. A lot of times when you do this, your lips aren't small, it's just that they're lacking pigment. Like, I didn't overdraw my lip down here at all. It looks like I did. But if you look, that's where my lip is. It's just I don't have pigment here in the lip. It's still just skin tone instead of the pink like it should be. And that's how a lot of lips are. They just lose pigment right here or in certain spots. And it makes them look smaller. So all we're really doing is adding pigment to where they are. I'll overdraw this slightly right here. But there's not like a huge line, and right here I'm still following that. So this isn't like a big overdraw tutorial hack. You just put pigment where the pigment isn't. Now, I'm going to take, what color do I want? I'm going to take a mauve mixed with like a brownish camel. Just so I can kind of get that look. Just to originally set it. And now I'm going to take a coral. How do I want to do that? And then dim it down a little bit with a very light mauve. And then I just set it. Look at that. That's not a crazy lip color by any means. And it just kind of sets everything in place. Makes you look like you've got those like pretty like orange creamsicle colored lips, like that, like really pretty nude that's rosy. It's not, excuse me, a crazy lip color by any means. And if this is too bright for you and you need to go a little dimmer, like especially if you're like really pale, you just take a white. And by no means is it gonna do anything. If you go too powdery, it'll make them look dry, but after a while, especially if you're eating or whatever, it'll be fine. And you just do this. Then I go back in and just touch up some spots on the liner if you like faded it or anything. Just trying to look here and see what I need to touch up on. Look at that. So now we have pretty lips that nothing happened. If you want to shimmer, say, oh, that doesn't look good enough, we can take our cream highlight right here in the pillows of our lips. Blend that out. There's that little bit of gloss. If you want more or you want it to stay a little longer, take a little bit of shimmer right there. Just be careful because that can take away everything you did with the lip liner. And then just brush that around. And you can keep building. Obviously, it's powder. It will add texture if you go over the whole lip with it. But if you go just there, just for that little bit of glossiness, it'll be fine. You can go over the gloss, but glosses actually come off even easier than liquid lips, so you just want to be careful with that. I want to do more liner here, more of like a brown liner. Just so it really picks up our eyes. So I'm taking that chocolate brown and doing like a little wing, but that it fades out so I can do this and you don't see it. And now I'm going to take like a black or a very dark color, very close to black if you don't want to go too crazy, if you're like really pale. And I'm going right against the lash line, but go up a little bit with that brown. But it's inside the brown. Like there's the brown and then there's that little bit of black. Now, where's my smudgier brush? Could use my finger, but I don't really want to. Do I have it right here? Or do I use my finger? Is that what it's telling me? Yes. Okay. So then I go in, right on the edge, smudge out that wing. I do this with all my wings. I smudge them out anyway. But what this does is that brown melts into the peach, and then the black melts into the brown. So it's still, you get that effect, but you don't want to just go with a black liner, because black, which is usually like cooler, is never going to blend into like a peachy orange. It's just going to be very hard to, and make it look natural. So you want a brown as like a transition shade there, just to make your life a little easier. And then if you go too heavy-handed and don't look natural, you just go in with like a little bit of brown over top, like a lighter brown. And look at how black this spot is now. And that's awesome. Now I'm going in with a darker brown, not that chocolatey brown, I'm going in with a darker brown, and I'm going in right against my lashes. Just going around them. You don't want to go real hard to where you get that one line of them. You just want to go in where you get it a little thicker where like the hairs are. And then you go in with like a spoolie. And then just kind of brush them. Because that, again, gets any of those clumps that you might have missed gone. And it blends that eyeshadow out. So there's more of like a focus. Now, I'm going to go a little darker right here on the edge. And right here on this edge. Just so it kind of focuses on the ends a little more. Let's see here. I'm going with a little more bronzer. I really like the peach. Let's go in a little more blush. Not bronzer, blush. Where's my blush brush? Do this. Now I'm going to take a powdered one. Just because I want a little more pigment. Coral mixed like a bubblegum pink. Really tap off the excess. We don't want like an e-girl look. We want a very natural. So you see there's no more powder coming off? You just go in little circles. Just go little by little. Don't really push it in. And you can see, little by little, you can see the pigment showing. And then I just go over here. Look at how sun, like, kissed that looks. It looks like my mask of freckles got sun. Now, I never foundation my nose because that's where I have the most freckles. So I'm not going to go over that to where they're not noticeable. So if you have freckles, don't go over them. It looks weird. But if you, because you have a lot of product on, you go in with like a cooler brown, whatever color your freckles are. If you're ginger, obviously you're going to have different colored freckles than me. But mine are actually like cooler toned. So I go in with the angle brush and I use the tip just to go in with freckles. And my freckles are very clumped together. So as long as I don't just put them like to draw, when people draw freckles, I'll be okay. I just want to focus more and then I tap. You don't want to smudge. You want to tap. I can smudge kind of just because mine are smudgy, but certain people you can't. Especially if you do the one where it's like one there, like you don't actually have freckles, you just want a couple of them. And then I just poke. These are like the best freckles I've ever done. I never do fake freckles. I just, because when I get tan, I get more, so I don't need to. But these are the best freckles I've done. Because usually I do them, I go too heavy-handed. Just do a couple there. Then you get a little less as I fade out, because I do have the most on the mask of my nose. Then I get a little mask. I have a couple up here. So I'll just go in a real little bit, just to almost create a little bit of darkness right there. And then you just tap. Let me see here. I can go in on my cheeks a little more. I used to have them all over my face. But as you get older, they fade. So that's pretty good. I don't want to go too far out to where it's not like my face. But as you can see, they're all those are drawn right there. And then I go a little bit less right there. And I have a couple up there. So you can see right here, my nose is clearly darker. And then when I get, I should do more on my forehead. Because when I get tan, I get a lot on my forehead. It's just hard to see right now because I put bronzer there and foundation. Get a lot around my hairline. And then they work their way in with the more sun I get. If you go too crazy, you can always powder over them too. It just go little by little. Though, be very careful. And make sure you have pigment on your brush. Because if you don't, it's going to smudge them and make them really weird and give them like a gray haze. So it's just going to work like you're blending out eyeshadow on your face. Need a little more right there. Cute. So let me just push that in. Make sure these are all pushed. So look, there's a couple right there, just peeking through. And then right here, I love the nose. The nose is beautiful. Let me go in a little more right here at the bridge. Pat. I love how that turned out, you guys. That's really pretty. And you can go anywhere you want with them. It don't matter. But look at how, like, it looks like I was just out in the sun. Ready for a beachy day. Let me see what I can do now. Let's go in here. You can go darker right here. Just add a little more dimension to your, like, brow bone, I should say. Because I have a pretty big brow bone. It protrudes a lot. So I like to go a little darker out there. Let's add some browns. Now you guys saw the peachy look. This is the peachy look. Very light. Now we can go in with browns and what I normally do. Because I don't go very natural with my makeup. Even when it's supposed to be. So keep the peachy as a transition shade. Let's go in with some browns. I need a warmer brown though. That ain't gonna work. That brown's good. Oh, she wants to work. Beautiful. Oh, pat it. And then using that fluffy brush, you just go in little circles back and forth. I like a focus on my eyes. I like the eyes the best on my face. That's like my favorite feature because they're very pretty color. And they're pretty big. So, I always like to focus on them. And I like making them the most colorful. I care less about lips and everything else. But eyebrows and eyes, like, that's my jam. Make this a little more round. There we go. Now, I need a different fluffy brush. Take this one. Then I'll use an orangish nude. And just buffer out that edge a little bit. Just so it fades into my brow bone. I still want to keep like a pretty neutral brow bone. I might go with some yellow. Not like a really bright yellow, just so it kind of melts into my skin and adds some warmth. But I love blending warm tones out with a yellow. Just makes it look so pretty and just melt. Now let me go over here. And then little circles, barely touching. You just want to make sure you don't have like a haze. You still want this to be very blended, even though this looks obviously like I'm wearing eyeshadow. It's so little to where somebody would be like, oh, she's still not wearing that much makeup. This is mostly like somebody, you want this look to be like, oh, well, this person isn't even putting on makeup. They're gorgeous, you know? And it's like, yep. Because we aren't wearing that much makeup. By no means is this like catfishing anybody. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like makeup where you like put the prosthetics on everywhere and completely change your face and then go out and then get offended when somebody doesn't like the way you look. Like, if you look completely different and you completely change your face, don't be mad when somebody don't like you. Like, because that's not who they were with, you know? There we go. Because I do makeup and I've completely changed my face, but I never would if I was going to date somebody, put it that way. Because I feel like that's kind of like, what is catfishing? It's exactly that. And it sounds bad, but that's, if you make yourself look completely different. If you're somebody who's like, oh my god, I look so different, I'm such a catfish, like, chances are you're not. But, like me, I'd let them know, I don't have eyebrows. Like, this is the only eyebrow I got, you know what I mean? Just because some people don't like that. You have to have respect for what people like. You can't just say, oh, they'll like me no matter what. That's not the case for everybody. But if you're one of those people, you should just say, you know what, then I wouldn't like them anyway. That's very healthy. But you can't talk big and then not do it. You know what I mean? I just don't like how people get offended with that. Because somebody didn't like that I had shaved eyebrows. I wouldn't take it to where, like, I'm ugly. I'd take it to where they think I'm ugly or they're not into that. Everybody's into something different. Somebody being mad at me because I'm attracted to an actor or something. I'm going a little more. Let me go with a darker liner. Going a little more. So it's still pretty hidden with my lashes, but not too much to where Look at that. Where's my smudge brush? Are you my smudge brush? Yes, you are. Yeah. So I'm taking that chocolate brown, blending out that black edge. Okie dokie. So, as you can see, let me blend that out actually a little more. Okay, that's better. As you can see, when you close your eyes, obviously you're wearing makeup, but by no means is the skin heavy to where it's like, oh gosh, they're caked in makeup. This is just like, oh, they're wearing brown eyeshadow. Like, if you can still see your freckles and everything and your acne, it doesn't matter what people see. If you're trying to pick up a guy, because usually girls in summer are wearing a lot of makeup to pick up dudes, okay? We're just gonna go with that. Or women, whatever you're into. Chances are you don't want to be caked in makeup during summer. Well, you do, but you don't want it to look that way. You know what I mean? If you're trying to pick people up. So, if they see acne, no matter if it's a guy who's clueless or not, and they see freckles and whatever, their first thought isn't going to be they're caked in makeup. Like, you can't see that stuff underneath. What gives those people that thought is when it's one color, powdered and dry, a real crazy highlight, but that's a dry one that adds texture. Like, that's what, or big brows. That's with no hairs. The ones that are like the pomade, real thick ones. That's what gives it away. When you do things that are one color, that's not a face. A face is imperfections, and it's greasy, and it's not a dry, matte look, and your eyebrows aren't completely full. You need to see the hairs underneath. You need to see the fades and whatnot. It can't be very dark. Like, that's not natural. So if you want to give that natural, pretty look, you gotta be natural. But you always see, like, on Instagram and stuff, the people who are like, you're beautiful the way you are. Well, they're the ones who are caking on the makeup and using Photoshop in all their photos. So then you have these little girls or boys who grow up thinking, the only way I'm going to be pretty is if I'm like them and I cake on all my makeup. When that's not the case. If you're going to date somebody, date them because they like how you naturally look, not how you look with makeup on. Because if you're caking makeup on now, trying to give that effortless look, worst case scenario, they're going to think that's how you really look, and then they're going to see how you really look and not be happy with it. But if you're caked in makeup, that's a different person. You know what I mean? Like, that isn't you. You can't take offense to that. It's like being a character, and then somebody's mad because they don't like your character or something. You're playing a character. You can't take offense to that. You know what I mean? Because that's what it's like. If you don't look anything like you, you can't expect to find the right person then. When you're natural and looking like a rat, that's when you find people. Let me take a little darker. I'll go a little bit of more bronzer just because I went a little darker with my eyes. That is so pretty. And I go in right here a little bit to set that area where I put that, the contour. Look at how pretty that is right there. But I didn't, look at all the acne I had. And I had no eyebrows. Like, look at this. We didn't completely change our face whatsoever. I had really big flaming acne, and I had little chunky brows. And my skin was very dull and not the greatest. And look at this. But I didn't cover my face at all. You can still see the acne. We just made it so it wasn't as red. And we drew on some freckles and added blush to make us look a little tanner. That's it. You can still see my facial features. I still look like me. I didn't completely contour and powder my nose and chisel my cheeks out and really go with the bronzer. Nothing changed my face. It's still my face. I didn't go in with a huge cut crease or anything. I just did a natural peachy eye first and now added brown. You can't change your face and have fun like that in the sunlight because it's gonna just eat away at it. And especially with like eye makeup, especially when you're blinking and you have your eyes like squinty, it's gonna make a mess. Or if you're in the water, don't do anything huge. Have fun. Just do minimal powdered and eyeshadow and have fun. This look I could go in the water with and I'd be fine. My eyelashes or my mascara might run a little bit, but not to where it's like leaking everywhere and whatnot. I mean, it's nothing you can't fix. And a lot of this mascara is waterproof. This Monsour Big, this would be like to walk around and go shopping in when it's nice out. The Monsour Big is very not waterproof at all. It will get very leaky, so don't use that one. The Benefit Roller Lash, I don't know if it's waterproof. It's fine. I had a Better Than Sex waterproof mascara, and that one was awesome. It worked perfect. That was one of my favorites. I just ran out of it and never got it again. And the Benefit Roller Lash, that lasts pretty good in the water too. So just get a waterproof mascara that has good reviews and you'll be fine. It don't matter. Eyelashes aren't the key, and don't wear fake eyelashes, because if you have like a strong wave or if anything happens when you're having fun, they're gone. And when they come off, your whole makeup look comes off with it. Like if you have liner there or something, that peels off right with it, so don't do that. But let me see what time I'm at. 3:25. What do I want to do? Well, let's go a little more intense. I always start little with you guys, like really small, and then I'll go in with like a few little more tricks. If you do want to cake on makeup, not cake on, I shouldn't say cake on. This isn't caking on. You want to go a little more crazy with your makeup to where a guy or a girl might be like, they're not looking very natural. Their eyes aren't right now, but their skin looks good, so they're not really caking on makeup. If you cake on your eyes, there's a chance that they might think you're caking on makeup. But you should be okay. I'm gonna go with a little line. I'm usually bad with these, so bear with me. Well, that's not bad. I watched somebody on Snapchat today do like TikTok makeup tutorials from like celebrities, and they were like, oh yeah, Madison Beer, they do this to make their eyes look like that. And then you look at Madison Beer's eyes and it's like, that's not why her eyes look like that. It's because her eyes are literally like the prettiest shape in the world. They're like this and all snatched like naturally. Like she doesn't have to do anything. It's crazy how good her eyes are. Her eyes are so pretty. So I took like a black. You can do brown for a little less intensity, and then I just kind of push down and smudge it out a little bit, just so it gives you a little. See how it like barely gives you anything right there? It just kind of elongates it slightly, just to make your eye a little longer. And then you can go in here and add a little bit of black at the end to make it a little longer. Do that. Okay. I'll do eyes first. I'll go with little eye stuff first. Let me do that. Now, making this longer, more so than up. You don't want it to go too long to where it looks like it's just going down almost. But there's like my little wing. Now I'm going to take my finger with no product on it and smudge that out. And obviously you can go back in with another shadow and go over it if it's too much of a line for you. But the way I'm blending it out, my temple, look, this is my brow bone right here. This line with nothing is my brow bone. See how it sinks in here? That's natural. So when I have a wing like this and I sink it back in, even though it looks like that's my wing and I took it out that way, no, as you can see here, that's how my face naturally goes. So all my wings really do that. That's why I can't wear eyeliner very well, because I have a big temple. But this elongates your eye a little bit. It's not going to work like a miracle and make your eye like Madison Beers. I mean, if we could all be so lucky, but we're not. But there's nothing wrong with that. Don't mean we suck. It just means we don't have eyes as pretty as hers. So now I take that and see how that just pulls everything together to be like, oh yeah, now I added a little more intensity to my eyes. But by no means when I look is there like a huge black line, like liner. It's all blended out, and it still gives that effect of, oh, her eyes are a little bigger. What is that? Like, it adds a little bit of mystery. Now, we'll add a little bit of darkness. If you want a bolder brow, we'll add darkness to the ends. In real life, I wouldn't do this. It doesn't look as good as when you just do your brow color. And it can make them look very powdery. But for a stream, it makes them look pretty cool. See how that gives that intensity? Blend this out. Okay. So as you can see how like black and solid that is there, and then here how it's all one color. Obviously this is way more natural. And this black, it's just to like kind of give drama. Like if you're somebody who's more e-girl gothy but you want to be natural, just go in with that a little bit. Now let me go with here. I'm very into like the e-girl, like more gothy look. But I like going more natural, obviously. So that's a good like in between to be like, oh yeah, here the ends of my brows are like black. Or I'd go in like a little slit. I'd do a natural brow probably, but I'd do a slit right there just because that's what I like doing. That would add enough to my face. Going right along the lash line with that black. Just so it adds some thickness. Look at that. That's so pretty. Now, let me see where I want to go. Well, add a little more bronzer. That's what I should do. Oh, I couldn't find my bronzer. That's right. Yeah, I have no idea where my bronzer went. I just had it, I feel like. But, I don't know. Maybe I'm dumb and I put it somewhere. That could very well be the case, because I always lose my stuff. Did I put it back in here? I don't think I did. I have a cream highlight. Another one. I can do that. Oh, I have this too. I'll take that and that. And then, there's my bronzer. Woohoo, I had it under my highlighter. Oh, I forgot. Oh, no. I spilled glitter the other day. Now I'm spilling bronzer. Oh my god, my bed's a mess. My bed is a mess. Again, you don't want to go too crazy to where you have like a big line. But you just want to warm it up again. A little bit more. With a highlight and a fresh bronzer, it looks so pretty. I don't like the makeup looks though where the people really go in with the bronzer to where it's like a haze and then they go in with this big bright, like faces aren't like that. Faces don't go to that extreme to where you're like dark brown and then white up here. That's just not a natural look to me. And this doesn't mean like you suck. That's if that's your type, that's garbage. Like don't get triggered because that's not my style. That doesn't mean anything. I like a more natural skin, crazy eye look, e-girl type thing. That's my jam. Which that's not your jam, so that's fine. But I don't like when it's real dark and then it goes in like a white concealer at all. It just, ugh, that's not my gig. It looks really fake. I use a white concealer because I'm really pale, but I only use it like right here and at little spots, and it's so thin it doesn't matter. By no means is this white and then this is real dark. I mean, there's not much of a gradient because I want to keep it natural. Let's see here. More blush. Going with more blush. That's always a thing. People really love blush, and I love blush. Still going up all the way, focusing on the apples of your cheeks. And then right here. Look at that. That's so pretty. I need to add a little more right there, though. Just so it blends in. If you have just pink here, I feel like it looks weird when you have nothing else. Like right there, see that little hint of pink? That just gives you that sunburnt effect. That's like really cute. Where you just came out of the pool and you're like, look at this. I got a little bit of color to me. It's that cute look that you want. And your forehead is always like the first one to get burnt besides like your cheeks and your nose. So you need that to go together for it to look natural, I feel like. And you don't have to go crazy, but it just helps a lot. And I go in with like a coral and a bubblegum pink, because when I go in with just a bubblegum pink, it makes it look a little too bright. Like the coral or like an orangish tone helps out a lot to blend it and melt it into that bronzer, so it doesn't look so like fake. It looks a little more natural. Let's go in with, what do I want to do? Let's see here. Oh, highlighter. I'm going crazy with highlighter. I have this liquid one. Be careful with liquid ones. Be careful with any of them. Because even though, like, when they shimmer, it looks lighter, you have to do, let's do this trick. Let me see if I can show you guys. Where do I have it? Do I have it right here? I have it right there. See how it's actually darker than my skin? Certain ways I show it, it's darker. So even though it's shimmery and it looks like it'll be lighter on your skin, be very careful because it won't be. You could use these as like a, even if they're like a shade darker, you could use it as like a body glow. I just don't. I go on a little bit just to add like a glossiness to it. But because I added a little bit, it kind of takes away that brightness. But because I'm going for a tan look, I don't really mind too much. It's just you don't want like a haze of brown on that side of your face because that's really noticeable. I take the extra, and you can always, if you powder and you do too much, you just press in your skin. I didn't powder enough to where you can see like my oils are coming through and whatnot, but then you just take it on spots that are supposed to be glowy, you know, like just take it on your arms a little bit. It doesn't do anything really. You can see like a little bit of shimmer, but like barely anything. It just makes it so you're a little bit beach glowed. Wash your hands though, because they're very glossy. Now let's do, I'll do this highlight trick on my eyes. So I have this liquid highlighter because I used a brown. It's like an orangey one. It was for somebody with darker skin, but when you order them, like when you get like a box or a random like mystery box, you get a random color. So I got one way too dark for me. So as you can see, it's like copper, which is very pretty. And I take that, and let me go on my eye real quick. Oh, that is pretty. I love a really glossy eye. Like, that's completely, like, highlighter, pretty much. Nice, pat it in. You can top this with glitter or shimmer, anything to make it melt. And I'll show you the difference. So here's the eye with it right here, and here's the eye without it. It is one color, obviously, but it adds that glossiness, which actually kind of makes it look more natural, because your eyes would naturally be glossy in the summer. Ooh, has a little bit of glitter in it. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Let me go in a little more. Pat that around. Like, look at how pretty that is, and it opens up your eyes so much. And I'd take this probably and take it right on the lip, because it's a liquid. It's not gonna add a whole lot. Let's just go in. I mean, let's just go crazy with it and see how it looks, right? I'm here to play with makeup, right? Ooh, look at how cute that is. That's a really pretty, like, gold. That's more like a natural gold, you know what I mean? If you were doing one of those lips. Let's go in a little more. Right there. Ooh, that's pretty. Same thing right there. Oh, look at that, guys. Look at how pretty that is. That is so pretty. Now, I'm going to top it with something. Top it with this like glittery highlight. See if that does anything. Because that's creamish too. I just want it to get like a different reflect look. You can go with glitter. That's a little crazy for me, so I wouldn't for like a summery look. Because glitter gets everywhere. I don't know where I can go. I didn't know where I can go with this. Let's just keep it on, I guess. You could do all one eye of these, and it'd be really pretty. I like a little more dimension than that. So let me blend this out right here, just so that powder still has that depth, so it's not like covered. And then blend that into here. I don't know where I could go. I go down here. It's a little dark, but we'll try it. I just like highlight like kind of like the bags under my eyes. I used to like drag down my highlighter because why not? I already had bags, so why not just like accentuate? So as you can see, you can't really see. There you go. Right there. You can see like a little bit of glitter that fades down, and like right there's like the shimmer. That's really pretty. I like that. Could I top this? Would this be too dark if I put it right here? A little too dark, but not too bad. Ooh, because it's got a little bit of glitter. Ooh, that's not bad. That is cute. That is really cute. Man, this is orange though. It shows up really orange. Look at how orange that is. Like orangish gold. But it doesn't look that bad. Like when you apply it, it loses a lot of pigment, which I am fine with. I don't like a highlighter or glitter with a lot of pigment. I think that's stupid. I'd rather have like a clear one with just like a lot of shimmer on it. And by pushing these and pressing them into the skin, it kind of activates more like the glitter part and less like the pigment. So it just makes like a really glittery eye. I'm just taking this and mushing it around to make sure it's drying nice. Ooh, that's so pretty. Let me take some right there. I mean, this is really helping for like that tan look. Now that we're more tan looking, ooh, look how dark that is. Now that we're more tan looking, it's very, these eyes don't look as crazy. You know what I mean? Like the more tan you go, the darker you can go with your eyes, obviously. And make them look more natural. Ooh, so because this has glitter in it, you guys can't really see that, can you? Can you see it right there? You can't really see anything. Dang. Can you see right there? Nope. There's like glitter now on my arms, like a little bit. Nothing crazy, but here you can see glitter when I do that. So that's kind of what's going on in my arms. Not near as glossy though, because that's the other thing. But yeah, my hands are a mess. Ew. Let's see what I can do. You could pop on a lash. I never would for these because if you're having fun, I just wouldn't. Let me take an angled brush and just kind of make more of like a winged out look. Not a winged out look, but you know, going that way. So I just take a darker brown, I kind of just flick it. Again, it looks like I'm taking my eyeshadow all the way up here. I'm not. That's just my brow bone. I just have a pretty big brow bone. I connect that dark color. Now, let me take you. Take more of like orange mixed with a coral and blend out that brown up here. I'm using a denser brush just because I want that pigment a lot and I want to make sure they're really blended. Denser brushes help blend out harsher lines. It's because I like flick that line, I'm going in with like a denser brush. And now I'm going with a softer one. Let's try. This one's really purple. Who cares? I have warm tone brushes and I have cool tone brushes. My warm tone brushes, I did my last look like a purple one. I did a drag queen transformation yesterday. It was over 4 hours. Go check it out. Pretty proud of it. It looked really good. It was really, really pretty. So that's in my videos if you want to go check that out. If you want updates on when I'm going live, which is usually every day, whether it's makeup or video games, you can follow me on here and it will give you a notification when I go live. Or you can go to my bio on Snapchat, or on my bio, it'll give you my info for Snapchat, and then you can go visit me on there. And I usually put on my private story like, oh hey guys, I'm about to go live now, or something like that. But the most accurate way is to follow me, and then you'll get notifications. I need a bigger blending brush. That one's good. Let me take... Nah. I'll just blend it out neutral. So obviously, this look isn't natural. This look is just like a really... Like if you're going to like a restaurant, like a date night, during summer. Like you want to go out to a bar and have drinks or something and look really pretty, but not be crazy caked in makeup. I wouldn't do this lip with that. I have to do something darker here. That's bothering me. Oh. Let me take some brown right in the corners and then fade that out. Because one lip of just gold is weird, especially with like a brown eye. And I make sure lips look a lot bigger. See? Didn't overline her lips. Just went with the lip shape. But by adding that little bit of darkness and just using this smudgish brush, it's not a big structured overlined lip. It's just like you just put brown eyeshadow on with a little bit of shimmer. And you can do this same thing with like a corally color, so it's a little more natural. But again, this is for like, oh, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna look good and feel my fantasy. Let me smudge out some black liner. And here, as long as you're doing your eyeliner shape, smudging it out, easy peasy. Nothing crazy about it. Look at the difference it gives you. Look at all that darkness right there. It just adds so much like focus to your eyes. Let's see here. Look at that. Who is she? And I add black right to that corner, the outer corner of your eye, and pull it to that black because it really squints your eyes right there and pulls it in. So you still have that cute date night look. And of course, you could put on lashes for a look like this. If you're going to go pretty big, put on some lashes. That would be good. Let me see here. Let me just fade all that out. So it's like effortless smoky eye. I'll use this Bang mascara. Or no, they're real. Maybe that's not Bang mascara. I thought it was. And just to pull at them a little bit, because it's just like your eyebrow hairs. Once you get powder on them and like eyeshadow on them, they dull a lot. So you just want to go over it with a mascara whenever you hit it, just to make it a little better. But from starting from like a beachy neutral summery color to this like cute date night building up, this is really pretty. I never want to give you guys just one look. You know what I mean? I feel like that's trash if I just give you one look, because one look takes me like an hour, and that's not fair to you guys. Look how pretty my hair looks today. It's actually really greasy looking. Well, it's really greasy. It's just, it looks pretty on camera because it looks like when you put that like just gel in it, like it's wet. But I have to wait every 3 days to wash my hair so I can get all the oil in it so it stays healthy, because my hair gets very dry. So when I do this, I massage it through and it makes it even more oily, and then but today's my shower day, so after this I get to take a shower. That's just big makeup look. But look at how pretty and beachy that is with the dark red hair. Looking like a mermaid. That is so cute, you guys. That is gorgeous. Let's go a little crazier with the nose contour, and then we will be done. Pinch right up there to shorten that nose a lot. Just kind of pop it in right there. Take it a little lower, more into the bridge. Go right there, and as you can see, it's way slimmer, but it's way darker. So you gotta take your fingers so it matches that blush, and then I take clean finger up there so it's not so dark. And then where is that highlighter? The highlighter distracts a lot, especially if you have too contoured nose. That's a little too much. Let me just go right there. So look at that. It goes right into the blush I did, but it's a little more contoured just so it's like, oh, her nose is cute, it's slim, and it's little and petite. And like, look at how much I shortened my nose up. My nose looks so tiny now compared to what it did. And that's because it's just right into my mask, and I shortened it up a lot with shimmers. So let me see. I started at like 2. It's like 350. I'm gonna go. I want to get it over 2 hours. Wait, what? I start at 2? I said, yeah, I want to get at least over 2 hours. So let's keep her going. I mean, let's just do big liner. Who cares? Let's do it. Why not? You guys always want to see big liner. Nobody's like not here for big liner, so why not? I'll do big liner with reason though. I'm not gonna do just like huge gothy liner for like a beachy look. This will be like the beachy natural liner for like the gothic people. For the e-girls. That's good. And because I have such a big crease, I need to go in my crease out a little bit and then do like a bat wing kind of shape. Just because it helps my eye a lot. I go pretty big though, just because I like it. How it looks when it's big. And normally if I did this big of a wing, I would have lashes on. Not for like a beachy look, but I wouldn't normally use huge liner for a beachy look. So, for my e-girls, if this is your natural, good for you. I'll do that right there. How far do I go? I'll go about that far. Fill it in. This is a lot of liner, holy crap. Okay. Trying to notice the difference. There is a difference, definitely. Oh, that one's way thicker, that's why. Did I go a little bigger with that one? No, not really. Ooh, look at how cute that is, you guys. Oh my gosh, that's freaking adorable. Especially on my huge creased face. That's cute. I need to go a little more right here, though. Just be careful with liner. Really practice liner, because if you mess it up, it will literally ruin your whole look. Because there's nothing you can do but get rid of it. It won't go away. I'll go a little bit darker right there, but I'm not changing the shape. I'm just going a little darker. Oh, that's freaking cute, you guys. Look at that. Look at how pretty. I'm going to take this up a little bit, this black. Just because I don't like when there's a disconnect. Like, see how this black and this is black and there's nothing here? I like when there's black all the way until it hits my lashes. Then my lashes at least give it like a black. I'll put some black in. Right there a little bit. Look at that. It's a gothy summer, boys. It is an e-girl summer. I definitely messed up right there. Because my crease, it didn't dry, so it got a little floppy. That one's really pretty. That don't matter, though. We'll just blend it out. I'll show you what to do. Every time I messed up, you just take the black, take the excess off, and you just blend it slightly into the brown, so it like covers that cloud of fuck up that you did, and it goes into right there. Now, man, that's cute. I look so freaking cute right now. Now, My brows look a little too light. I need to... I'll have more black hairs. Oh, because I haven't faded. That's why. I haven't faded and beachy looking. Somebody just cake on some more makeup. Give me 2 seconds. Just gotta like structure it up a little bit. And you never want like just black right here that's not blended. And that's what I did. Well, it's mixed with red, so it's not that bad. But I just take a spoolie to that end and flick at the end so it's blended. Right there. So see? It fades. That way it's not just like solid black Sharpie brows. Let me go more black right here. This black just isn't as dark as the other side, I feel like. The other side's a little darker. Look at her. Oh my god. Why not just take some black at the lips? I'm lining my lips with the black, and then I'm gonna fade it in. So it's like one of those 90s like lined lips. Ooh, look at that. Then you blend the end going into your lips, but not like the outer part. Ooh. Look at how cute and big our lips look. Like, this is the girl that, like, is too cool to talk to anybody. Like, the black chained bodysuit. That'd be so cool. Now, I'm going my mascara on the bottom because I didn't go in with it on the bottom before. But this is one of those looks where it's like you don't see really any lashes, so you do need some visible lashes to pull it together. Look how big my lips look. Holy crap, they look big. So you don't need to get lip injections. I would never get lip injections. I don't have big lips, but I would never get lip injections. I just don't want to change my body, unless it's like tattoos or something. I'm pretty happy with my body. I would just rather learn to love it than like be like, nah. I get it's not the case for everybody, but for me. This mascara is so dark too. It really helps just pop everything out. Look at that. Oh, that is so cute. That is adorable. What can I even do? Do that like slit my brow. It's become like a tradition lately. I'm just gonna be lazy and do it with concealer. I always say don't do it with white because you're not supposed to. I can't even see. Oh, I missed. I didn't miss. It's just I only did like half of it. There we go. There we go. Well, that blended in nice with the red though. The red made it like darken up into like a tan, so that's okay. I'm gonna do a line right there. Oh, I want to try one of those scar eyebrows. I saw one on TikTok, on like Snapchat, where they show TikToks. Because I don't have TikTok. That was really cool. Oh, look at that. That was a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous look. How did they do it? They like would do a big thing of black and then they'd stop it there. I don't know if I want to do that though. Do I want to mess up this look? Yeah, let's try it. You already know. Remember how this looked. We're gonna do something. How big can I go? Are these right next to each other? I'll go that big. Who cares? So you guys know how this looked. You can follow that tutorial. If you don't like how this thing looks, don't follow this part of it. Just do concealer right there. That's too big. But I'll just go in with my brow brush. Go in with the black and the red. And I'll just color in to right there. I feel like that's a good spot. Now, I have liner. I could draw it on, or I could just do it here. I'll do it here. Oh, we're gonna try it. I've never done it before, so don't hate me. How do they do it? I'm gonna do one that goes with my curve of my brow. I feel like that's harder to do. It's a thick scar brow. To be fair though, the scar brow is by no means natural. So I feel like it don't matter how big you go. Oh shit. Aw, I took that out way too far. We'll just do it so it's like curving. It's like ass. Oh, it's not that bad. There it's bad. I need to curve this. She's weird. That's not that bad. I went too thick, but that is like what the thing is. Oh, that'd be cool if I went all the way down. Not going to. I feel like I really like the placement of it though. Like it's, if you could do this on both sides, you know, like, I don't know, kind of like Pennywise, but like with the block in your brow. That's pretty sick, not gonna lie. That was pretty cool. I like that trend. I wouldn't do it, but I like it. Oh, almost dropped all that. Let me try to fix this. That look better? It's going with the curve of my face, so that's the problem, is my placement. Like here it's straight, and then there it's wonky, because that's just where it sinks in. And this one's just not straight. You know what? Send it. I got attacked by a fucking lion. Oh, it matches there. Then there it don't. What the fuck? Well, I don't know. I feel like if I squinted though, like say if you really got attacked by something and you were like this, like where it happened, I I feel like that would be like how it would be. Not at all, but I feel like that doesn't look bad. I like the curve in it. You know what I mean? Like, if that makes sense. I like how this curves with my brow bone, sinks in, and then it pops out again. I feel like that kind of, this gives a dimension. The one I saw, she did it like more in the middle, and it looks sick, but I really like this on myself if I did it thinner. Somebody's in my driveway. Let me see what time it is. 4 o'clock. Probably UPS guy. Anywho, I really like this curve and the dimension it adds to my face, but then there it's weird. Like, I do this separate, and I do this separate, but this together looks weird. I don't know. Oh well, let me clean up my stuff. I'll hang out with you guys while I clean up my stuff, because I like talking. Instead of talking to myself, I'll talk to myself on here, because I like that better. There's one viewer right now. It always says 1 viewer, and they say it gets more accurate as it goes up, so that means it could be 5, and it just doesn't say, because I always would get to where I'm like yesterday it was 180 views, and it said like 5 hours ago, and I had, hi, and looks good. Yeah, don't lie to me, bud. This looks good, but not the other part. But if you want to see the Beachy tutorial, that's earlier on, if you're looking for that. And I noticed you're talking. True. What was I gonna say? I forgot. But, yeah. Oh, yeah. It said I had 180 views yesterday on my drag one. And then it's like, oh, 5 hours ago, but it was only a 4-hour stream. So it's either 180 people watched it in, like, what, 2 hours? Or an hour they watched it after? Or they watched it that whole time and it didn't update it. I don't know. It's weird how it... Twitch is weird. Especially, like, the mobile on my phone. It messes up a lot. 2 viewers now. Look at you guys. I like how my thing says Beachy Summer Makeup Tutorial, and then people come in here and I'm, like, fully goth. It's like, that's not what this is. I did a Beachy makeup tutorial, and then I just added makeup. I just kept adding makeup. Because I want to do more looks for you guys. If I do 1 look, I'm going to get groceries. Oh, it's you, Cameron. Hi! It's my boyfriend. What do you get? Like, what groceries are you getting? We just need milk. Right? Or, no, we have chicken. She's gonna kill us if we don't eat chicken. Oh, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I already did a Beachy natural look, and then I just kept adding on makeup, because if I do 1 look for you guys, it only takes like an hour, unless it's like a huge... The drag look took like 2.5 hours to do, and then I was done, and the rest of it I was chatting with you guys and doing different things. Milk and something for dinner. KFC! KFC! Please! KFC! That sounds so good right now. At least for me. Or McDonald's. Ooh, those McDonald's burgers were popping. Know something. I can't read the rest of that text. It doesn't pop it out for me. Oh, there it is. Maybe it did. No, it doesn't. I only popped it out a little bit. Nope, still nothing. That's where it ends on my phone, so I can't do anything about that. Are you making something? Or are you gonna get something? Because those McDonald's burgers were pretty poppin'. Just saying. Let me clean all this up. Fine, I will get it. No, you get what you want. If you want to make something, I will help you make it. But, can you get me something? Can you get me KFC or McDonald's? If you're going to be out there. But if you want something made for yourself, like, you want to eat healthy or whatever, that's fine. My skin's already messed up. I'm soon on my period, so there's nothing I can do about this acne. So, that's why I'm eating disgusting. Because usually if I saw somebody with acne, I'd be like, why are you eating, like, really greasy food? It's because I'm soon on my period, and nothing's gonna help that anyway. So, fuck it. I'm just eating what I want. I need all my palettes organized. My stack. Ugh. Oh, I have another palette here. And my mirror. And my powder. And my other bag. Oh my god. I want to get a makeup cart, but I have no room. Okay, I will be home in a bit. Okay, be careful. Bye. I love you. If you're leaving the stream. Just be careful. Drive safe and slow and watch for little animals. So you don't hit them. I've never hit an animal yet. And I've been driving for a while. Long time. And, haven't had an animal yet. But the day I do, oh my god, it's gonna be like the worst day of my life. Oh, look at my hands. They're so nasty. Oh well, this looks pretty cute. Pretty big. That scar is disgusting looking. But I like the liner. The liner works for me because I have to go so big just so it looks good on my face, like perky instead of like saggy. And it still will never be like that snatched eye close liner, but it's at least a little better than like if I did a small one on myself. So this way you guys got to see like it had to be like 3 or 4 different looks, right? It was pretty good. Pretty accomplished today. So I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. I will probably stream video games tonight. Probably Destiny 2. I've been playing with Cameron. So if you want to hang out with me then, hit me up, give me a follow, and then you'll get a notification. Or add me on Snapchat if you don't want to give me the follow. Then I can put you on my private story and we can do it that way. Info for my Instagram's up there too. I post weekly. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye!